All right, if you can, just please, man, bear with me just a second. There's a story in the Bible where it says that this man, his father, brought his son to be healed. The Bible says that he was possessed with these demons, and it talks about him being thrown to the ground and thrown into the fire. Just all these things were going on with this young man, and the text says that the man had brought his son to the disciples. And so there's this conversation going on, and Jesus said, hey, Jesus comes on the scene and said, hey, what's going on? And the man explains it to him, say, Jesus, I brought my son to the disciples for him to be healed, but they couldn't do it. And there's just conversations that's going on back and forth between Jesus and this father. And finally, the man says, if you could heal him, right? Jesus says in a response, like, if I could, then he asks the father, he says, do you believe? And the father says, yes, I believe, but help my unbelief. Fellas, there's something about us and our children, for one, where we can really say, you know what, God, I need you. And here's the thing, we can go to the church, we can go to the pastor, we can go to whomever. That's not to say that they're not powerful enough or they're not strong enough, but sometimes it's about the Father. And so in this situation, it's the Father that has to be dealt with in this. God can heal the Son. He's God, he's Jesus. He can heal the Son. But whenever Jesus asks a question, you have to wonder why. Why was the question even answered? Even asked? Jesus asked the Father, do you believe that it can be done? Because here's the thing, once we can believe, the other part is easy for God, but it's about us believing. I just think about this, man. Now is the time, fellas, to step out on faith and just believe what God can do. There's some doubting that we can have. There's some second guessing that we can have. There's some unsureties that we can have. There's some insecurities that we can have. But just take the moment, take the challenge, just step out on faith and believe God. Now, there's some things that God might have to deal with you to help you overcome that unbelief that you can have. There may be. But just like Jesus was standing there to ask that Father that question, he's standing there too, asking him, do you believe? And if your response is, well, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. There's an answer to both of those prayers. There's an answer to the prayer that God can heal heal the Father's Son. But there's also an answer to the question where God can heal our unbelief, man. Step out on faith, trust God and believe God. Here's the thing. There's some of us right now who really want to step out on faith, who need to step out on faith because there's something going on in a marriage. There's something going on within us with some bad habits, some unhealthy relationships. Some of us are thinking about doing some crazy stuff, but yet we just need to just step out on faith. Step out on faith. Believe God for, the writing of the book. Believe God for, that you're going to start your own business. Believe God. Step out on faith, man, and just trust that God not only can, but trust that God will. Let Jesus just help our unbelief. Step out in faith. Love you so much, man. Peace.